Hello, lovelies, and welcome to day 3 of Vlogmas. We are using the Authortube Advent Calendar prompts, and for day 3, it is mistletoe and holly, which I do have lots of Christmas scenes in my thing, so I actually have a whole scene based around mistletoe in Ghost with Cats, book 1 of the Book of Ello series. So I will just start reading here. The cat jumped onto the counter, and Annie petted the large feline, who purred loudly. Paul took the box. He had discovered the strange rumbling sound was a sign of affection from the felines of this world. The felines of his world were untamable, and he had no idea if they ever made sounds more than growling and yowling. Seriously? That's awesome! Carl exclaimed. Then he whispered to Annie, "Who's the big dude?" eyeing Tall up and down. She took the antique samurai sword case, because Tall was already standing close to the door holding the box with the model antique car. Cute, isn't he? He's research for an upcoming client. His family are the last living real samurai. She lied, whispering conspiratorially. Rule number 2 for ghostwriting: authenticity comes from doing all your own research. She winked at Carl, hoping he believed her. Samurais were easier to believe than aliens. Whoa! Carl's jaw dropped, and his eyes bulged because he thought her deception tipped him off to her next project. Then she handed him a pair of $20 bills. "Merry Christmas, Carl." "Merry Christmas, Miss Dove. You rock," Carl said excitedly. "Hey," he called out as she reached the door Tall was holding open. "Don't forget the mistletoe, or it's bad luck." He winked at her. She looked up at the plastic and nylon mass of green with white berries and blushed. "Sorry about this," she apologized to Tall, and pulled him down by his collar. Then her lips pressed against his for just a moment before she pulled him out the door. He stepped out after her into the late afternoon snowfall. "What was that?" he asked, having seen people do it on the media entertainment broadcast. The sun was below the mountain's peak, but it still seemed early. "A kiss under the mistletoe. It's a Christmas tradition." "I'm so sorry." "I do not think I minded. What is the significance of it?" Tall inquired, as they walked back to her SUV. The black Land Rover was white with snow, which Annie brushed off quickly. According to mythology, a Norse goddess was warned in a dream that her son, the god of light, would be murdered by an arrow made of solid wood. So she took a vow from all the trees that none would harm her son. But she overlooked the mistletoe, which was a tiny, scrawny bush. Her son's enemy, the god of evil, found out and made a tip of an ashwood arrow out of mistletoe wood, and tricked the blind god of winter into shooting the arrow at the god of light, who was killed. The mistletoe plant felt such guilt that it refused to grow on its own roots ever again, sacrificing its ability to live to return the god of light to life. His mother wept over it and kissed it, giving it the white berries, and the other plants pitied it and promised to allow it to live among their branches forevermore. So now people who care for each other exchange a kiss under the mistletoe for good luck and long life. She narrated as she drove. That is a lovely story. And the touching of lips is called a kiss? Yes. Don't your people kiss? She was surprised to be asking. No, I've never been kissed before, he stated. She almost drove over a curb into the copy-all printing store. Seriously? Never. You don't hug or hold hands and don't kiss? How do you display affection? How would you display affection if you found a wife or spouse or mate of some kind that didn't try to kill you? She asked, exasperated, as she thought sarcastically, and I thought my people were messed up. Paul was thoughtful as she pulled into the parking space of the printing and shipping store. We embraced between fathers or uncles or siblings or cousins occasionally. Sometimes my brothers or cousins would lick or bite one another when we were younger, but we grow out of it. Sometimes males and females who have affection for each other would do the same, but it is rare. Mostly now, it is just a battle to survive the mating lottery. There is joining, as in what you would call a marriage, but that is as exceedingly rare as are true inkings, which are rarer still. He explained, but stopped at her shocked expression as she turned the motor off. Inking? As in tattoos? She asked. He nodded. His translator explained the term to him. So that was Paul's first kiss, ever, just because Annie kissed him under the mistletoe. And that is a cute little scene that I had written from Ghost with Cats, where they are at her grandfather's cabin in Cuchara, Colorado, and they take a trip down to Trinidad to do some holiday shopping. And Tall is basically going cabin crazy, stir crazy, and driving Annie nuts. So she takes him to go see the town because he looks enough human to pass as long as he keeps his sunglasses on. And they're just basically learning about each other's culture. So that is where I used mistletoe in one of my writings. Thank you for listening. Day 3 of Vlogmas. I'm signing off. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.